Be sure to cross the T's and dot the I's to supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and our idiom, our expression about leadership today is about some version of the idiom to cross your T's, dot your I's. Dot your T's, cross your I's. I've heard it both ways. This is one of those expressions that became really popular in the mid-1600s, or actually the early 19th century, so the 1800s. It was first published as cross your T's and cross the T's, dot the I's in 1849 in Scrivener's Magazine. And it probably became as an as a scolding or a reminder to children to pay attention to their writing, write carefully. It means, of course, for us to pay attention to the details, the most minute and smallest details when they matter. Now, we can get bogged down in paying attention to the details and everything, but that will slow down our growth and slow down how quickly we supersize and build our business. But there are certain areas and certain aspects where it's important to pay attention to the words we use, the language we use, the accuracy and the details of things. I'll never forget, I went to the post office from my manufacturing business one day, picked up the mail, ripped open my utility bill, and saw, to my horror, that I had a $68,000 electric bill for the month. And since it came out of my bank account automatically, needless to say, I was a little freaked out. Normally my electric bill would be anywhere from $3,000 to maybe a maximum, I think the biggest one I'd ever gotten was less than $6,000. So to see this $68,000 bill that was going to be automatically withdrawn from my bank account in a couple of days definitely gave me pause to stop what I was doing. Right in my car, I called the electric company. I said, hey, somebody made a mistake reading the meter this time. And indeed, as they investigated, they found out that the meter reader had accidentally put in the wrong decimal or something and had read the meter wrong. So there are times when details are very, very important. In certain aspects and certain people's roles, in your role, in certain hats that you might be wearing if you're just starting your business, details are important. It's important that you pay the right amount of money. It's important that you're charged the right amount of money. It's important that information is accurate, especially in that wording and the way things are laid out are correct, and the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. Contracts, words and language in contracts, even though they're boring and long and we don't really like to read them, guess what? It only takes one or two words to be changed in a contract, even a standard real estate contract, for it to entirely change the meaning and therefore your responsibility if you go ahead and sign that contract. So as boring as it is, we need to read contracts or have somebody that will read every word of the contract for us. That's why we have lawyers, that's why we have counselors, that's why we have people that are on our team that help us with certain areas and aspects of our business, especially if we're like me, not particularly detail oriented. Language and communication, the words we use are how we communicate everything to other people. So it's important that we choose those words that are appropriate for the situation. Claims, guarantees, things that are important to our customers need to be clear and concise. One of the areas that most of us deal with at some point in our career or some point in our business development is the accuracy of people's communication to us, their resumes. Are their resumes accurate? If your HR department isn't calling references and checking out people's resumes, you are in for a world of hurt down the road. We like to think that everybody presents themselves in an accurate and honest way, but it's absolutely positively not the way it works in the real business world. Sad but true. So what are some of the areas that you found that it's important to dot your I's, cross your T's, to cross your T's, dot your I's, however you say the phrase. I actually think I've used it the most. Remember to cross all your T's and dot your I's. I think I usually make it more personal when I use the expression. It depends. It depends how much detail is required. But I do think it's a great expression. It's one that many of us can relate to, especially those of us that grew up with those teacher graded papers. You get a term paperback. I wish I had one here. I actually found some old German term or essays that I'd written, and they were marked up, with the red pen, that you'd see the red pen and you'd be like, oh my gosh. And the more red you saw as soon as you got your paperback, the more it made you cringe because you knew you had to go back and redo those things. That was before the days, believe it or not, of word processors and computers, and so we had to actually type things out. We had to type them out on carbon sometimes if we wanted a copy of it, because that was before copy machines were really popular and you could find one at every library or everywhere. Now printers in everybody's house. And it was before the days when the computer and the word processing tools actually formatted your entire paper or book or report or document for you. Now they just go ahead and you can select the format you want, and it'll just document the whole format, or format the whole document. Let's try to get that out right. It's hard to communicate sometimes. So love to hear your experience with this particular expression or idiom. Does it mean anything to you? Have you got a great story that goes along with it? Love to hear that. Otherwise, that is our idiom for today. Go out, make it an awesome day. If you're doing something that requires detailed attention, remember, cross those T's and dot those I's and make it an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow with another interesting leadership idiom. What does it mean? Where did it come from? And how might you use it in your business and your life right now? Take care.